Welcome to On Today's Ride. I'm Kieran, and in this episode we're on a road trip to Pai, the hard way. Woo! Okay, it's early. Well, it's not super early, but it's dawn. So it's about 6:15, 6:20 in the morning. You just see the sun will come up pretty soon. It's starting to get light and clear over the mountains. This is the view from my balcony. So I'm ready to go. Everything's packed up, bike's ready. Last slug of coffee and we'll get on the road. Okay, it's first light, early doors. Well, it's about 6:30, that's about when the sun gets up here. I'm on the road. Had a couple of early morning teething problems and I found my front tyre was flat, so I had to do a bit of emergency repair first thing. But we're up, we're out, and we're ready for a big one. Okay, 20 minutes in, we're already out of town and into the green. Nice early morning light. It's nice and cool, feels very cool. I think my computer says it's about 20 degrees, but it's a cool 20 degrees. Yeah, so we're out of town and it'll stay green now pretty much the whole way, apart from a few little villages and one town, until we get to Pai. I've called this video Pai the hard way, and that's a slightly ironic name because it might indicate that there was an easy way. There is no easy way. The regular way to Pai is, well, they sort of market it as having several hundred hairpins or something. It's about 110 kilometers, 2,000 meters of climbing. For most tourists, it's a major excursion on a motorbike, on a rented scooter to get there and stay alive. For cyclists, yeah, it's a bit of a journey. Yeah, 2,000 meters climbing, 110 kilometers. So it's a fair outing. But I'm going the other way, what's known as the Wat Chan Road, because it goes through a little community and presumably temple called Wat Chan, Wat being a temple, and it's considerably longer and a hell of a lot more climbing. So it's got a bit of a fearsome reputation, shall we say. Yeah, so it's a tough old ride. It's 180 kilometers, so it's a long day, and about 4,500 meters of climbing, so it's definitely a serious undertaking. If that figure doesn't make a lot of sense, that's basically half the height of Everest. I think that puts it into context. Little quiet spot in between the scooters and the trucks. Hear the birds, chickens are out. Vendors are up early. Not just cyclists who use this route, a lot of tourists come out this way, motorbikes, vans. It's a pretty road, there's lots of nice little cafes and restaurants, so it's very popular. Okay, little downhill bit and then into a climb. Okay, so first major climb's done. Now just a bit of a descent down into Samung. We've done 1,100 meters of climbing. Still a long way to go. We're up at about 900 meters. It says it's 21 degrees, but I am soaked in sweat, so it feels kind of chilly. Anyway, into the downhill, and they've repaved this bit, which is nice. Okay, rolling into Samung town. First stop, we have done 1,100 meters climbing. We have cycled 43 kilometers. Still a long way to go, but we'll take a little rest here. It's taken me 2 hours 19 minutes to get here. Not bad. I'd just give a little shout out to my friend Daniel, who from California, who spent a few months or weeks or some time living here in Samong somewhere, I think just outside of town. I met Daniel when we were sequestered in Da Lat in Vietnam during COVID for a while, and spent several months just riding up and down the mountain there. Anyway, I'm sure Daniel will recognise these scenes. We're going to head to 7-Eleven, get a coffee, get a snack, and get ready for the next part of the ride. Early morning market. Okay, so first snacks for the day. Got a cappuccino from 7-Eleven in a paper cup now. That's very nice. Got a toasted sandwich, another speciality of 7-Eleven, and I'll supplement that with a bit of sticky rice. So the sandwich and the cappuccino came to about 57 baht, which is it's about £1.10. So, you know, those sort of things are cheap here. Well, everything's cheaper. Anyway, so that's part one of the trip done, and now into the main course. Okay, we're onto the Wat Chan Road now for the next, well, many K. Gas station, petrol station. Lovely purple flowers. Into the first climb. Computer says 4 kilometers at about 6%, so nothing crazy steep. I'm guessing it's going to be about 10 hours riding time, at least an hour of stoppages, so it's cutting it a little fine with the daylight, but I brought lights. I didn't have lights last time, but I brought lights. You never know what's going to happen. You don't want to be on these roads after dark without lights. You don't want to be on these roads after dark, full stop, but needs must sometimes. Climbing up through the jungle. It's cloudy. That's not a bad thing. It's a perfect temperature, no wind, so conditions are good. Maybe a little bit humid. First time I rode this, I thought it was the toughest mountain road I'd ever done. It just went up and down constantly. I just thought it cannot go back up again. Back up it went. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm a few more mountain roads under my belt since then. See if I still reckon it's the toughest mountain ride. It's certainly one of them. First very steep bit of climbing. Doing roadworks all the way up, which doesn't help. Up to about 19-20% at the top of the next climb. Nice little view before we descend, and then back up again. Sky's cleared, but we're up at 1,000 meters, so it's cool, it's nice, very lovely out. Temperature is 24, 25, perfect. Nice Wat, can't read the name, it's in Thai. Pagoda. Nice hairpin. Getting up higher now into the pine trees. Altitude is 1,200 meters. Very steep ramp here. Out the saddle. Woohoo! Into a little shop for a break. Body cap. Cold drink. Nice little descent through the pine trees. Take a break from climbing for a minute. Mostly the road surfaces have been excellent, but they're excellent until they're not, and when they're not they can be quite lumpy, so I'm going very easy down this one. Okay, status report. We are 130k in, it's about 80 miles or so. Not massive in itself, but I have now climbed over 4,000 meters. As I said, that's half the height of Everest. That's a lot of climbing. There's only 55k to go, and I think most of the climbing's done. There's still a few lumps and bumps, and each one of them hurts, but I think there's no more long climbs. So part of me just wants to get head down and head for Pi, but I'm feeling pretty depleted, so I think I might have to stop and eat something. Whoa.
Big.
Okay, I got something to eat. Only 50k to go. Few more climbs, but they don't look too bad on the computer, so hopefully we can get over those with no major problems and head down into Pi. Okay, so I could see from my bike computer that although most of the climbing was done and the remaining climbs were short, I didn't realise quite how steep they'd been. There's been some absolute killers, like 20% plus, only for a couple of 100 meters, but at this stage of the game, it might as well be 2 kilometers. Oh well, less than 30k to go. I could do with a hot bath, but I think that might be a little bit too hot. Okay, we made it. Wow, what a ride. 9 hours 40 minutes of riding time, and then you can add on another hour or so for breaks and that rests and eating and taking photos. 188 kilometers, 5,000 meters climbed. Okay, so the big question, is that the toughest mountain road I've ever ridden? I have to say yes. I don't think I've ever ridden anything quite like that. Just kept on giving. Even that last 50k, which I thought was supposed to be relatively easy, was just a succession of extremely steep ramps. You know, only a few hundred meters, but some of them were over 20%. And at that stage in the game, that was the last thing I needed. Okay, so roll into town, get over the river, and find our guest house. Okay, so we just got to get across the river. And the way to do that is over a rickety bamboo bridge. But this one's slightly less rickety than the one I normally use. Because the one I normally use, you can see just over there, but they're rebuilding it, which they have to do every year. Sorry, Cap. Which they have to do every year because it gets washed away in the floods. I think this one's more permanent. You can see it's got concrete structures, but it's a lovely little river, this. And other side is town, which is quite crazy at night. And this side is sort of hotels and guest houses and farming, and it's a lot more peaceful. So this is the place to stay if you come to Pi. Okay, we're going to find our guest house. Okay, well, I've arrived. I found my little place, and it's very sweet. So this is my little cabin for the night. Little balcony, hammock. Let's have a look inside. Very simple, just a bed, mosquito net, which I probably won't use, fan, bathroom, and it was cheap. It was like 500 and something baht for the night, which is like £12, so a bargain. Nicey birds. Okay, we're into the night market. Have a little look around. I've got to eat very quickly. I was going to go to the vegan place, I know, but I don't think I can. It's a 900 meter walk and I don't think I can make it. And there's a whole night market full of food here, so I'll just eat something here. I'll probably get some little things to pick at, so let's see what we can find. Gyoza. Nice dumplings, gyoza. Little samosa type things. This, you sort of select a few things, put it in the basket, and then they grill it for you. Somtam, my favourite Thai salad, somtam pie. Roti, more fries. Okay, there it is, banana roti, no egg, condensed milk, very sweet, very good, and definitely a good end to the evening.
ว่าจะมาโม้ข้าเจ้าก็ลองมาแล้วเป็นปี
Okay, it's the next morning. My camera died last night, rather like I did. Anyway, suffice to say, I ate well. I had 2 dinners and dessert. I drank well, had a couple of beers, and I was in bed, as predicted, well before 10 o'clock and out like a light. Okay, it's the next morning. I'm up, I've had my breakfast. Had a really good breakfast in the hotel. Toast and peanut butter and bananas and mango, fresh mango, and an omelette and some coffee. So I'm ready to hit the road. Yeah, there's a slight resistance to being back on the bike, and there's a huge climb to get out of Pai, like a 15-kilometer climb. But once that's done, that's pretty much it. We'll roll 100 kilometers back into Chiang Mai. Okay, well, as ever, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button, and see you soon on today's ride. Home sweet home.